Genesis, the Book of Foundations by Paul Bucknell. Hi, I'm Paul Bucknell. I'd like to just share with you an overview of the book of Genesis to understand God and His work in time. We have provided two special outlines, a geographical outline of Genesis and a genealogical outline of Genesis. Indeed, that's the way Genesis presents itself. In the geographical, we look at the three different regions, Babylonian, the Palestine, and Egypt. And it just nicely progresses from the preservation of the godly line, the provision of God's promise, to the protection of God's people in chapters 37 to 50. There's a wonderful blend of theology along with practical life applications throughout this book, and we capture that in our commentary. We believe the commentary is meant to enrich our lives by causing us to think through how God wants to use His Word to help our lives, encourage us. You'll notice here, and we're going to look at a few pages within the book of Genesis here, and this is the E edition. We have lots of charts. I've taught it numerous times for classes using PowerPoints and so forth, and in the old days, overheads. And so we have lots of diagrams and charts to make this book come alive, and so we can really understand it easily. We go through a number of themes early on in the book, but the one that we center this book around is foundations. Genesis provides a necessary understanding to build our lives upon. Our success in our life will have to do with how we understand God, what He's doing in time. We just have so many practical questions and studies throughout this book. It just really makes the book of Genesis come alive. And that's why it's a teacher's companion as well as a student's study book. Again, here's a chart, and all we have to do is click here, and it will go to a bigger page where you can see that in the ebook. And again, another chart helping us quickly understand confusing names. One of the things about Genesis is how it combines both theology, introducing perspectives like on marriage, creation, and we really believe God made the world and everything in it, along with life application. And so just as Genesis does, we spend a lot of time thinking about Abraham and Jacob and Joseph. Here we're looking at Abraham's detours that he faced in life. And here, Joseph, his downs and ups of life. These are extraordinarily moving times. I've just been so blessed teaching them, learning them, and getting them down in written form. If you get the DVD, Old Testament training, biblical training library from us, we have many videos, audios, PowerPoints, Bible studies, not only of the book of Genesis, but the whole Old Testament. It really is just a little bit more than the book itself, but has all that in it, along with the book. If you really want a good bargain, get both the New Testament and the Old Testament libraries. Get a good bargain. We hope that you are encouraged and be able to get this book of Genesis. Build a solid foundation for your life, for your family, for your church, as you study it personally or use this to teach, including our PowerPoints. I mean, that's what they're there for. Take them, adapt them, use them for your own. Lots of charts, maps, diagrams to really point out the significant things God is trying to teach us. You can find these resources at Biblical Foundations for Freedom, www.foundationsforfreedom.net, releasing God's truth to a new generation.